I've actually got dust on my camera. It's been a while, hasn't it, guys? Apologies. I have just been stuck in a daily grind. But you know what? The only grind that truly matters in this life is this one. The coffee grind. So I'm back. Why am I back? Good question, I'm asking myself. You probably have seen my Nanopresso videos and you know how much I love that product. It's probably been about 3 years since I got it. Still going strong. Love it. You know, I use it almost every day. It shares duties with the V60 and occasionally the trusty AeroPress. But now there's a new product on the scene. This one. It's called the Pipamoka. Same company that make the Nanopresso, Wacaco. And a few weeks back they reached out to me and said, we've got a new product coming out in January and would you be interested if we sent you a pre-production unit? Silly question. Of course I'm interested. So they sent it to me and I've been using it now for about 2 weeks. And I've been tweaking the grind, fiddling around with the speed and the pressure, and I've found the sweet spot and I'm getting really consistent coffees out of it. So I thought, time to make a video, you know. So here I am, guys. Now I can't do an unboxing video because it didn't come in the retail packaging and there was no user manual because I think the product launches any day now, so those items weren't quite ready. But what I did get, I got a scoop, I got a brush and a carry pouch, and I've got this funnel thing. It just drops on your basket, so when you're pouring your coffee grinds in, you don't spill it. If you're interested in seeing the box and the manual, it looks like this. There's also a really nice carry case, but that's an additional £11.90 or probably about $14. Yeah, it's a really cool web page. It's got tons of information about the specifications on it. They've done a few introduction videos. They've got this like cool cowboy on a horse and they're asking the question, where are you going to brew yours? For me, that's easy. It's going to be in the woods, swinging in my hammock. I've said it before, coffee tastes best outdoors. Now, before we go, I'm just going to prepare the basket. The reason for that is the woods is only about 20 minutes away, so it's still a pretty fresh grind anyway. And also, I've dialed in this grinder exactly where I want it. So if I was to use my hand grinder, I'd have to fiddle around and find the settings that I like. I'm so spoilt for choice for coffee right now. This one is absolutely delicious. So 16 grams, guys. Any of you that have got this particular grinder, it's basically on setting 15. The V60 I usually grind around about 11 or 12. It's like a filter coffee grind really. But here you go, look. You put that on the top and then you can just tip that in. You see? And you're not going to spill any of it. And then you just plonk this lid on the top. Done. Now I can just lift this lid and that will just drop in there. Trying to go to the woods. Right, Bax, are you ready? We're out in the woods. I've took the chance and I'm recording this on my S10 instead of bringing all my camera equipment, so hopefully it does a good enough job for you guys. No. Guys, if you learn your knots, you don't even need carabiners on hammocks. This knot here is called a Beckett hitch. So you can make your adjustment on your hammock, and then all you got to do is loop it through, pull it like that, and that is a quick release, adjustable knot, the Beckett hitch, for anyone that's interested. Solid as a rock. Get me squeeze up. Bags, go find a different stick. I've just remembered the logistical nightmare that's involved in filming in the woods when you've got a Baxter with you. This dog is an absolute loon. Anyway, so let's take a look at this product. Okay, I'll just take the basket out for now. What you've got here is a double-walled insulated flask. Now this section, this comes out, right? So you've got your flask there. Bax, go on, go play. Go on. Leave. Oh, you are going to be an absolute pest, I already know it. Can you see those lines there? They represent a full cup, 3/4, half and 1/4 of a cup. I've only used it up to the full cup line. What you do is you plonk it in there like that. You pour the water in up to the line, then you drop your basket in and let it sink to the bottom. So you see how it works, guys. As you're twisting that, it's just drawing up that cylinder. You've got water in the top, you've got the basket there, and then the vacuum underneath is what's pulling that water through. Wait, go on, back up. Wait, leave. Now all we do is just drop this in the top, like that, then that's just going to slowly sink to the bottom. So that process of sinking that basket down takes around 40 seconds. And then when it gets to the bottom, it still sort of bubbles a little bit, and then you just have to tap it on the ground just to let those bubbles out, because really you want to get as much air from underneath the basket as you possibly can. Now we drop the lid back on, and now we're ready to give it a twist. So this process is really simple. All you've basically got to do is just grip it like that and start twisting it. As you do that, you'll feel a tension as it's extracting. If that tension gets too much, you just want to slow down a little bit, so you can always keep that pressure the same if possible. So this whole process should take around about a minute, just over a minute to complete. Okay, I'm at the top now, and that will just lift off like that. Now if you look at this, when it comes out, there's no mess in there at all, so it's a very clean product to use. Now at this stage you can just take this lid off, and this lid will screw down on top of that flask, and that is 100% safe. You could put that in your backpack, you could put that wherever you want, and you've got hot coffee there, freshly brewed, that's going to last you 3 or 4 hours. So now I can get nice and settled and drink this at my leisure. Typically you'd make a coffee and you'd drink the coffee when you're outdoors because of the temperature. With this, I don't need to worry. I can just leave that there and start putting my gear away, getting settled. What normally happens, and I know this from experience, especially on a cold morning, with a V60, you've got a 30-second blooming phase and there's not very much water there, so that is basically cold. And then when you've added the water on top, you know, there's no temperature there. To a degree, it's the same with the Nanopresso. It's difficult to get that temperature on a cold day. But this, I'm in no rush to drink this because it's going to be piping hot. It's in an insulated flask, and that is, I think, what makes this special. Now what I'm going to do is get in my hammock, get my yum, chill out with my coffee and waffle a bit for you guys. Let's talk about the lid. There's no opening. If it was like a drinking mug, you'd have something you could pop open and drink out of it. And I asked that question, why haven't you integrated that in the lid? They came back to me and said, the main reason is we want it to be 100% unspillable, because it's basically like a thermos. And these lids, most of them will drip. So if you've got that in your hiking bag, imagine you had a down quilt or a down sleeping bag and it leaked, it would be devastating. So I personally don't mind the lid. Some people that worry about spilling their drink over themselves if they're walking and drinking at the same time, they might be a bit bothered by it. But they did say that's something that they might introduce in the future. But I've been walking around, I've been walking the dog, I haven't spilt it on myself, because what you'll find is after you've took the basket out, it goes to 2.5 inches below the top anyway, so you've got that safety zone where you could be in a car and rocking it and it's not going to spill. Now what you will have is you'll have a slightly wet lid when you take it off, but all I do when I'm out and about is I carry a bit of kitchen roll and I just put the lid in the kitchen roll, stick it in my pocket. It's not gonna be a problem. It's not going to leak anywhere, because the kitchen roll will get those few little drips. And this is lovely to drink out of. In fact, I don't really like drinking through a plastic lid anyway. If I can help it and avoid it, I do. Sometimes, I've got quite a few reusable mugs, and a lot of the time I unscrew the lid because it annoys me sucking through a little hole. I think James Hoffman recently did a reusable drinking mug video and 80% of them leaked. It's fine if you're going to drink it there and then, but in the case of this, I could drink this in 2 hours time and it could be rattling around in my bag. Happy days. Right guys, you know what time it is. I'm not joking. Waitrose makes the best yum yum you can buy. I've had arguments with my friends up north. They say Greg's yum yums are better, but I'm telling you they're not. These are pecan and butterscotch yum yums, right, from Waitrose. If you're in the UK, you must go and try one out. They're only £1 and they are absolutely delicious, and when you mix it with a decent coffee, you're in heaven, guys. So, where will you brew yours? Guys, I'm just recording this the day after the footage I took in the woods. I've edited that footage. It was painful to edit. The last 15 minutes there was no sound because I was using an external microphone and the cable had come loose. So it was a blessing in disguise, really. So this is a very short outro just to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like or a comment. Consider subscribing. And also, they mentioned that they were going to give me a discount code for the first 50 orders to get, I think, 5% off. So check out the description and look for that code, and hopefully if you're interested in the products you'll get a bit of an extra discount on it. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you soon. And that's it really.